Yup, I got 947.
For once, I'm looking smart.
Nah,
Right. Which direction does the control?
To the right, right? It goes to the right.
Ah, ha, ha. How am I still not on the podium?
Because me, Ari, and this nigga's hogging the board.
Fuck out the way.
Pretty sure I just got it wrong, but it's okay.
All right. Thank you for giving me the podium, my guy. Motherfucker. This is ridiculous. Oh God.
That's me.
Oh yes! Run me my money, boy.
Oh y'all cheating, bro. I swear. Y'all cheating.
9,000. She definitely has the answers on the sheet.
Yeah. Y'all cheating.
My desk is clear, guys.
Nah, y'all AI'd that.
Ain't no AI. I'm just base, bitch.
Take a test. Probably leave it open until about 10 o'clock, folks. We got plenty of time here. For me, it was a $200 day immediately. And we're gonna find out we can do one of these is under 30, 40 minutes. So I'm gonna show you how to diagnose that today. All right. There's two things that we're gonna check about. For one, look, the pulley's spinning freely, right? Okay. That's because there's a space between the clutch plate and that pulley. There's a space. Now, what do you think happens when we activate that magnet and the clutch plate gets sucked in? What happens to that space? It disappears, right? So the space is what separates the pulley and the clutch. It's very crude, very primitive system. It just locks onto it. Yeah, that gap is supposed to be there. And it's called the air gap. It's called the air gap of the clutch. So that's what we're going to use to separate the clutch plate and the pulley when we're not using it. But when we apply the current here, folks, that clutch is going to activate, that magnet's going to suck that plate in. It's going to close the gap, right? It's going to close the gap. So what I want to do is to make this clutch real to you, right? It's not something that you'll necessarily have to check all the time in the shop, but it's something that's useful to us to understand what's really going on here. We're gonna check the air gap, okay? So we're gonna check it. So you can see there's a tiny little gap there. All right, so we're gonna check that, okay? If you guys wanna look at this or whatever, okay? We're gonna check that gap. So how are we gonna do that? I'm gonna show you a special tool called a feeler gauge. Little petals. Little leafy petals of metal. Different thicknesses. I'm gonna show you how to use those when we get downstairs, because I don't have it set up here. I'm going to show you how to do it downstairs, all right?
You use them on a flywheel, I think?
You can do a lot of that with engines, valves, stuff like that, but you will be using it to check the air gap. All right? Very, very small. All right? Now, okay, it has this inductive, every wire generates a magnetic field. That's why if you have your power wire next to the signal wires for your amplifiers, you'll hear the power from the alternator coming through the signal wires. Because it generates a magnetic field and interferes. It creates interference, okay? So we're going to test this coil. And we're going to do it with it unplugged. And that's normal, folks, because somehow we got to get in to this thing, all right? You got 1 and 2 wires. How many wires do you see? How many prongs do you see there? How many prongs? This is a 1 wire. 1 wire clutch coil. How come if we have positive and negative, we only have 1 wire? Which wire do you think that is? Is this the positive or is this the negative? This is actually the power side. This is the power side, but if this is the power side, where's the ground? Poof.
Yeah, the ground is the case of the bolts.
The chassis itself, the engine itself.
Same thing like the starter, the chassis itself.
Absolutely. Everything, the natural ground of the system is actually the part where the alternator connects to the engine. Okay, so that's the natural ground. So we can actually ground things through the metal casing that we have. And that's your ground, okay? And so what we're gonna do, folks, if you only have one wire, first off, we're gonna test this with the multimeter. Which property are we gonna test? You think the damn thing's unplugged? Which electrical property are we gonna test for this? This coil, this
voltage.
been disconnected.
Oh, disconnected. Amperage.
Disconnected. Resistance. Okay, you're checking a physical electrical property of the coil, which is the resistance of it. So 1234. That takes a whole other machine, folks. A whole other machine. So it's very important for you to identify the refrigerant. And when we get there, I'll show you what a counterfeit, when we get to the certification day, I'll show you what a counterfeit refrigerant looks like, all right? Identify the refrigerant, whether it's built into your machine or whether it's a separate tool that you're using. Identify the refrigerant, all right? How do we know what the system's supposed to have? What are we gonna look for? Sticker underneath the hood. It can possibly be up on the hood, but a lot of times it's there. It can be up towards the back of the engine compartment. It can be on the front. It can be in the front of the hood, top of the hood, back of the hood, somewhere like that. You're looking for a sticker, okay? He's got more important things going on, I guess. Check your machine, okay? So there is oil in the system. There is oil in the system. The compressor is at a machine. Machine needs lubricant. The oil unavoidably circulates around the system. Don't let it confuse you. That's not refrigerant. But it is, a little bit is sucked out of the system as we take the refrigerant out. There's an oil bottle on the machine that captures it. So by the book, we check the oil bottle, make sure you don't have that, make sure it's not full. You're gonna check the amount before and after. Find your service ports. You're gonna find the service ports on the system. Okay, I'm hoping I can get one that's a little bit more difficult today. The Volvo's a little bit easier, and I have something a little bit harder to do. Connect your service hoses. Do not screw the pintles in completely. Wait until you see it's reading pressure, and then open it up some more. We had one that the first time we did it yesterday, we had one that wasn't quite open enough. So you might get pressure, but the valve needs to be opened more. What I'm trying to teach you is you don't necessarily just crank it on down because you can destroy the valve. So be very careful about that, all right? I know that on everything we work on, we can do that, but I don't want to teach you to do that and then you get in trouble with the really expensive line or something like that. Open valves on the machine if you're equipped. That's after you connect your service hoses, open the shut-off valves. Your machine may have valves on it. Ours don't, but sometimes they have valves on the machine. Check your operation. Turn the system on. Now you're going to see pressure come online inside the machine on the gauges. Now you're going to stop the vehicle. Okay, because you want to check the operation of the system before you service it. Stop the vehicle. You cannot recover the system until the vehicle is stopped. Unless and until it's stopped, all right? You're going to recover it. Note the amount. Check the oil bottle for your oil. You're going to perform your repairs. That's in between 9 and 10. Pull vacuum. Check for leaks. Well, no, I'm sorry. Pull vacuum. If you want to check for leaks at that time, disconnect hoses, perform your service. Reconnect hoses in the same manner. Pull vacuum, check for leaks, okay? Allow sufficient time for your humidity, operate vehicle on AC max, and then charge the system. Do not charge on the high side. Okay? So does anybody have any questions? This is what we're primarily working on today. This is a little sheet that I wrote up for you. It may or may not be helpful, but this is what we're doing, okay?
Hell yeah, what the fuck? I'm getting a bag.
I'm getting my bag. I'm seeing what's in the school too.
What's going on? Oh shit. We gonna beat your ass, JT.
I like it. What the fuck is that? Get on the back. Get on the back.
We gonna beat your ass, JT. We gonna beat your ass.
We will not be doing that today.
Oh my god, I hear that shit from a fucking mile away.
Dead ass.
So you got the supercharger. This is the oil pan. This, that's the drivetrain.
Yeah, this kid is an idiot.
Who's running it? Khalifa?
Let me see what this stream says.
Now, this guy, I want to verify pressure in.
What y'all
Doesn't feel
doing?
very cold.
Is it?
I need somebody getting their machine going on this one. Let's get it set up.
Watch how you
Let's
do
get
it.
it going on, all right? Do you have pressure in the system? Okay, there it is.
Sure.
And do you have your... What?
I got the high shot of
I'm going to let this guy... Well, we're okay though. We're just going to pause this. That is inaccurate, I think. Oh, yeah. They're all, I know, and it's going to be lined out the door. So, what you need now, what you said is that you got to open that valve on the inside on both sides. Mike, I want you to watch the gauge when you're doing that, and then it will tell you when it is open. If it's got pressure in the system, but it seems to have, right? So go ahead, guys, go ahead. All right. I want one person.
Y'all do it, and then when it's my turn, that's all I have. I think that's a fair ask, to be honest.
Okay, now I shouldn't have to tell you guys how to hook up the serial ball. Okay? Where, Mike, Rob, whatever, where is my key? Where are my keys? Where's my key, Rob? Mike. Yeah, you gotta What are you going up there? Go with him and get one.
Clutch control, compressor clutch control, diagnostic. That's what we're running right now, right?
Put it up here.
Why, thank you. You're up?
No. Got the paper cup.
Gotta watch this.
No, put it in this.
No.
That's a radiator cap. Where's our reservoir?
windshield washer.
Help us out, Chris. What does that say right?
It says coolant. I've been pointing at it this whole time.
What?
That's
What
it?
is that?
Oh, that's the reservoir.
No, it
No,
isn't.
it's not. That's the reservoir.
Wait, that's the reservoir?
No, this
That's
is-
the reservoir. That's the reservoir? That's the reservoir.
That's the
Wait,
brake reservoir.
That's the reservoir? What is that for?
That's for brakes.
Don't you dare say
Brakes overhead.
You try quick to the mic.
This shit set up a little different.
The brake is right here. That's the brake. What is that for?
Bro, lock in.
I don't have one. You're just gonna have you just feel it.
Is there two separate?
Did you get it on panel? I'm coming over there.